Good morning. 27th of August 2026. Yeah, this is a government thing. They're not wrong decisions, it's all planned. Trying to wipe us out. Bastards. Fucking Burnham, he's a prick. When people dying, children hurt, then you see them dying. When you practice what you preach, if you turn the other cheek, Father, 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 help us, be the guidance from above. The Lord. Listen to him. Believe in him. This will decide. We will rise up. You've been warned, Labour, Conservative, SNP, Liberals, with a muppet David in charge at the helm. He's a prick. They're all pricks. Never had a real job. Can't do a real job. Can't do manual work. They just want handouts all the time. They're like Smeagol bastards. Anyway, fuck that. The phone's shaking like my ears in my hand. Children, people dying, children hurt, then you see them dying. If you practice what you preach, and if you turn the other cheek, Father, 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 help us from burdens from above. You got me. Where is the love? Oh, that was good. That was different, wasn't it? What was all that about? Oh, happy days. Can't stop us laughing, you know. Do what they want. They will not stop us laughing. And I like laughing. Oh, I've got to tell you about yesterday. Oh, absolute nightmare. My mum said to me in the end, I don't know where you get your patience from. I dropped Leon. I drove from Middleton. Got up early. Got Asbo home. And Dobby. And set off. Couldn't even fasten my case. It was skeggy. Look at it. It's not fastened. I had to carry it like that. Oh. Anyway, so we went to, where did I go? I set off, drove to Leslie's here in Duckingfield. Had a quick brew. And then took Leon to Eaton Park. To his job line. He's working in between, obviously off from university. Clever lad. Funny. And then drove to my mum's. I rang Leslie and said, is it alright to go and see my mum? She said, you have to ask me that. So I went to see my mum. And she was nice and we was alright. She showed me some fruit. And I said, right, I need to get your insurance done for your car. It starts on the 29th, which is Saturday morning, and I might not be here. I might be in Skegness. Might not be yet. We're working on dates. Anyway, I spoke to Paul last night about it. So what happened then? So when I started doing it, I got my mum's pad. You know, it's a lot bigger than Miracle Mobile. And then started looking on Gold Compare. Found this site. Her first quote was about 790 quid renewal from 612 6:20, something like that. 6:30, 6:40 to 7:90.
Good morning to Ben. He says, I'm enjoying the show.
Anyway, I found one for,
Lovely to have you. Listen, Flair and Will
I think
holding down
it was about
his radio
£5.70.
in just a few minutes.
And I thought, that'll do. I love that. So I started filling the form in. And obviously it's my email address. And it won't accept it. So I started again. And then this time, put my mum's email address in. And then it sort of went dvla again, and it was asking me, no, it was automatically putting on extras like £30 a year to protect your no claims and all this bull. I said to my mum, this is ridiculous. And then Leslie Jordan come to visit mum, still sat in the conservatory. So I went through to the lounge, through the dining room and into the lounge. Just sat in there for a bit, did a bit longer. Then she made me a sandwich, another brew. Then she done me a cold drink after another half an hour or so, because it was warm. No fresh air, the one, with all windows and doors open. And then I thought, you know what? I'm not going with this company, I'm going to try something different. I went back on Gold Compare, put my mum's details in, put Willie as the name driver, filled everything in. This time, it took me 5 minutes, complete. And we've gone with the post office. And I think there's a bronze, silver, gold. And I've saved her £300. Just approximately £300. It took me 5 minutes. She said, you've got the patience of a saint. I know, over 5 hours it was. In between doing all that, I was receiving calls, taking calls, speaking to people, like psychiatrists and friends, and oh God. My mum said, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. Speaking to Lee and then going through his tax for his tax on his van. And the electrician one of the electricians that works for him, Danny, he told him to pay it on the V11, so he got on the phone and boom, paid it. Then he said to him, Lee said, just put 6 months on, it's 200 quid. Danny paid the full 12 months. Anyway, he said, there's the receipt, got for that, there's your number. So a couple of weeks later, I think it was, I don't know, Lee said when he checked online, a lot of Lulu did, it was showing it as he was taxed. And then yesterday, Danny said all these payments for the last month have all come back to the bank. So he's not covered. So I rang the tax and I went through it all and everything was sorted, and I said I'll do his money and I'm available to speak on his behalf for all his joinery accounts and all that. I do them all, I pay it all. That's what I do. It's my job. The money's my job. And so in the end, this H-U-W in South Wales, nice enough guy. When I said to him, when we were younger, we always went to North Wales, Holyhead and all that. Oh, he said it'd be a lot nicer than where I live. I said, no, it won't. No, it will, he said. He said it will. You want to see it here. Oh, something poor. Anyway, no, it won't. It'll come to me. And then he said, you'll have to get your kid to ring me. And I thought, so Lee said, has he got a number because I've got Willie on my mum's phone while I'm speaking on, and I put them together, 2 phones together. So Lee's talking to the guy in Wales into my phone from my mum's phone. Amazing, really. And they had the 2 there. I didn't even listen. Couldn't be asked. Anyway, he then said, you're going to have to ring on your own mobile. Why? It's the same thing. Going to ring while Danny's with him. And Danny's actually on his way around at least now. And he said, tell him to phone and I'll speak to both, or we'll speak to both of them, and that's it. So I was, what was I? At one point, that could have been the insurance. I was 50, after 3.5 hours, 4 hours, I was 57th in the queue. And 2 hours before, I was 13th in the queue, and I did take a screenshot of both. So if anyone wants to see them, they're here on my phone. Unbelievable. So in the end, we got 300 quid off. So I've been there 5, nearly 6 hours. The day's nearly gone. So then I ring Leslie, and rather than me drive to Duckingfield, I said to her, do you think Leon will want picking up? She said, I don't know. She was still in the, I think she was in the doctor's. Yeah, she was in the medical centre. That's where she was at the start, medical centre. And then, I said, I'm so sorry I had to go on the bus, love. I didn't know. I wouldn't have done any of that. I'd have come straight to you. And then, she contacted Leon, being back, and he said, oh, he'd love to be picked up. So it's 6 o'clock. So it's about, I think it was for around 4 o'clock-ish, and Ryan rang me. And then we sorted something, and then I give him money for his food today, for his shopping. I always treat Ryan and Ben every week for all the food shopping. That's what I do. That's what dads do. You know, me, skin, so I'll just give them whatever it is, 70, 80 quid a week. Sometimes it's a bit more. Not too bad, do they? Ben's just bought his first house. In the 300 grand, 280, 290 grand. Not bad for your first house. Mine was 17,000. It was, and the house was massive. Twice the size of his. Twice the size. Huge. Biggest house on Kenyon Lane. 17,000 in 1981. That'll be. It was 150. Oh, it's got to be 260, 270, maybe more. But it's a terrace, isn't it? It's a semi. No, it's Georgian, I don't know what they call it. It's a big terrace anyway. One with a big peak on it and all that. You know, well, he did that roof. Yeah, we put a roof on it. But well, he dropped it and started again, and I helped. Yeah. I didn't hinder, I help. I assist. But one time I got food poisoning off him. What he did, he had all the builders on. So at the back there were no wall. All the wall had been taken down, everything. It was all acroed up and dead safe. Then it was scaffolded. And then there were like big wagon sheets over it. So I came home on the Sunday night after a few sherbets. I think I'd been out with Neil. And I went round the back where the bowling club was. And I went in through the back gate. Scooby sat there, he could hear me. He met me. Big greeting off him. And I had a pudding for him. I got him a pudding. How did I get him a pudding and didn't get myself? No, I didn't. No, I had something there for him. That was it. So I gave him that. Big bone as well, a big knuckle bone. And I was hungry and I thought, And there was an extension lead. And there was a fridge. They brought a little fridge freezer on site, freestanding. And I opened the fridge. I went to the fridge. And I could see a bit of light down one side, and I pulled the door. Anyway, there was ham inside, a packet of ham. They'd been home, they'd already used it. They'd had some on it. Anyway, there was tomatoes and whatever. So I made myself something to eat. And I woofed this ham. And what I didn't realise is what they'd had on Friday morning. So I've been there from Friday morning with the door wide open on the fridge. Somebody left the door open. They were working his bollocks off. And I ate the ham. And that would be about midnight. 4 o'clock. Somebody was ripping me guts out. I felt like shite. Anyway, I waited till about 8:30. I think it was 8:30, 8:45. Phoned a taxi. Said I'm going to Dr. Rose on Rochdale Road. So I gets in the taxi and it's Derek, the ex-Coleman. I think he was called Davis from the Gardeners. Derek, belting bloke. And I think he worked for Radio Cars at the time. Malcolm Taylor, my pal, with Rolls Royce. And he said, where are you going, young Sinky? So I said, I'm going up to the doctor's. What's wrong with you? I said, it's my stomach. Fucking killing. Right, so what have you eaten? I said, well, I got in last night from Jolly. And our kid's doing it. Yeah, I know he is, yeah. So I said, well, there's a fridge in the middle of the, I think it's in the dining room. Anyway, in the middle of the dining room, it's just wooden floors, there's dust everywhere, it's fucking rotten. Anyway, so the fridge had been open all weekend and I made myself something to eat and I ate all the ham. And I think I've got something off that. He said, you have, it's called listeria. Right, I said. So he turns left and I thought, where's he fucking going here? That's where Rochdale Road is, doesn't he? Going all towards me. I said, oi, where are you going? Tesco, he said, we'll go to Tesco. Are we? Yeah. So we get to Tesco and he says to me, right, go in there and get 4 small live yogurts with live cultures in them. What? Trust me, don't need the doctor for this one. You see, when I lived in South Africa, they don't have fridges and all that. They hang the meat on a tree. And they cut the outside off it, chop it off, cut it off. And then they eat it. Nothing wrong with that. It's preserved. And if you're cooking it, you stick it on the fire. Burns everything, all the shit out of it. Kills everything, all the bugs and all that. He said, but what we did, because we were a bit more civilised, we ate whatever. And then we had yogurt. And the yogurt kills the cultures, like anything in you, any bugs in your stomach, boom, this does it. And I'll tell you what, I forced them down. And he said, come on, I'll take you home now. I said, right, okay, how much is that then, Derek? And he went, don't be stupid. Family. Well, take a quid then. Take a quid. Ain't worked bad in 1980 odd. No, he went, no, not taking a kid. And send me regards to Janet. Yeah, but I'm not with Janet now, I said. No, but give me regards to Janet. Yeah, everybody said that. How's Janet? I said, I've not seen her. She's a fucking dumb one. Yeah, ditch me. Well, little help from her friend Mary. And her brother, Batman. Yeah, so we got, and then I went back to, where did I go then? Oh, I had a walk around the lodges and roads, and then I got up to Eaton Park, and I got there 5 minutes before he was due out. Got him, brought him home, and then it were doctors, hospitals, all that shit. He said the wait time was about 20 hours, kept going up. Last one I saw was it was 22 for quite a while. And she said there's a chance of more now because they're not sure if they're coming to North. They might be going to Oldham or Fairfield, but if they come here, been a bad one somewhere. And I'm going now because it's nearly Friday. Oh, love you all. My journey continues. Good night, and God bless for all who sail in her.